I'm getting back to this job of changing the water pump. So I got a 3-drawer puller that I just got, and this is basically used to pull out this pulley right here. And I'm assuming, because I don't see any tensioner, that when I pull out the pulley, the belt comes loose automatically. So I'm gonna start with that. So let me try to figure this out. I'm gonna get back to it. Okay, so I got the pulley on, the puller on the pulley actually, and I got my socket in. So I'm gonna start turning it to see if it's slowly gonna come out. I recommend doing this with a, with a regular ratchet instead of a electric or AirPod ratchet. Always want to double check, make sure you're sitting in there just right, and just keep going. Seems like it's coming out a little bit, I guess. Yeah, it's coming out. I can see it pretty much moving. Give you a little close up. Let me see. Hold up. Focus a little bit. As you can see, it's advancing outwards. Alright, sooner or later it's gonna come out. Alright, so let me try to see if I can wiggle out a little bit. Keep doing something. Just like that. Alright, let me get this out, because I'm holding the phone with one hand and working with the other. So with the pulley out the way, I got more access to these bolts right here, because there was no way it was going to come out with that pulley blocking it. So that's just the way they made the car. So I'm going to start taking these bolts out. These are 8mm. Alright, let's get these 8mm off. I think about like 2 or 3 of these bolts are like longer than the others. So I gotta try to remember which is which. As you can see, different sizes of them right there. I got like one right here. Yeah, that came out pretty easy. Alright. So I think I got a whole new unit anyway, so all that is coming off. All of this right here. Just gotta get some hose off. Gotta detach this right here. And I already got the bottom parts loose. So yeah, let me get my needle nose over here. I'm gonna have to do this with 2 hands. Okay guys, with much determination I got it out. Okay, so yeah, that was a bit of a tight space to work with, believe it or not. So let me go get the new part. All right, let's check out the new part. Yeah, so obviously looks very similar to the other one. Let me get this plastic off real quick. Alright, so this is it. This plastic piece right here is the piece that broke off the other one. They actually make them upgraded with like all aluminum, even this plastic piece, but I found out after the fact of the purchase, so it's all good. Like I said, this costs for sale anyway. I'm not keeping it, and it being a new part, I'm sure it'll hold up longer or indefinitely for the new owners or next owner. All right. Let me see. This is the old one right here. You know what I'm saying? Along with the and this is the housing. So obviously I'm gonna have to transfer some hose over and all that, and I'm gonna do that. So let's get that going. Alright guys, so I had to run to Napa real quick because I needed this right here. It's a little plastic tee, because when I was checking this out and I put the hose on, obviously this one broke. You know, this car, obviously a lot of the parts are original, so a lot of stuff is going to be brittle, especially the plastic pieces. So I'm going to have to take this out and put that one in. Alright, before I continue with the job. Yeah, so I got it out. Might be a little slight difference as far as the piece that's supposed to come out that broke off. Maybe a little skinnier than this one right here. So I don't know, I might have to do a little customizing, you know, figure it out. You know, I don't seem like it's far off, but we'll see. My bad, that's my neighbor cutting grass and my dog barking at him. And this is the piece where it broke off into right here. So it connects to the throttle body or whatever. So I gotta get this dished out some way somehow. So I'm gonna start with that first before I start putting this on to that. Alright, so I managed to get that on there. I actually took out the old clamp and just added my own. Just screwed it down tight. This is the old one right here. You know, this one you usually press it with like a needle nose plier or something like that, but yeah, so I just did that instead, and it's easier, you know. But let's get the rest of that on there. Alright, so I gotta get this piece out right here that's stuck inside this little hose right here, which is pretty much this piece. Like I said, this one broke off the previous one right there, so I gotta take this off so this piece can go inside this one. Alright, y'all, I had to run to the store again to get like 2 of these hose clamps right here, because this is the original one and I was squeezing it to get the other one back on there, and it literally went into my neighbor's bushes somewhere, and I'm not about to go look for that. I'm looking like a weirdo lurking in the bushes, so this is what I got. I got these. This is actually a lot easier. I should have been did that, so let's continue. Quick purchase at Home Depot, by the way. Alright, so I got it on there. Now I'm tightening down the clamp. Alright, so at this point, what I'm going to do, I'm going to swap all these clamps out. I already got some that I already had. I just had to go get the other ones because I didn't have them like any bigger than this one right here. So all these clamps are getting swapped out with the screw clamps because it's going to be a lot easier. And I'm doing the next person that might be working on this engine, changing out some holes, a favor. Okay guys, I managed to get the pulley back on there, and that's the new water pump. As you can see, I got all the clamps set up. Put a clamp here, screw clamp, put some screw clamps over there. The only one I didn't do was this one right here. It wasn't that bad. I just managed to like slide it back on. So the pulley was a bit of a challenge, but I got it actually. I had to improvise. Let me see what I used. Where I put it at. Yeah, well, I put it that fast, so I can show you guys. 1 second. Okay, so this is what I used. I pretty much had this in here, like sitting right there. Now I was taking my hammer and knocking it back in. I was using this 4-pound hammer, whatever you want to call it. It's like a Thor hammer, you know, hammer of Thor. But I was pushing it back in, because on this one, apparently for the belt, there's no tensioner, belt tensioner, so you got to pretty much take the pulley out and the belt will obviously loosen up. So I then put it on the same way. I had the belt already wrapped around the pulley and this, and I put it back on while it was on there. So it's not that bad of a stretch. It's not like crazy struggling, but you definitely gotta you know, have a little grip. So I'm gonna continue with putting the car back together. Alright, so at this point I'm gonna put the new thermostat in there, because I remember how the old one looked. So while I got it open, I'm gonna put it right up in there. There you go, fits nice and snug. And I'm gonna close it up with this. Okay, so the thermostat is in there, and I enclosed it within the housing. Alright, so I gotta start putting this thing back together some more. So I'm gonna put the air box, the base of the air box down, but I was looking down here, it looks pretty dirty in there, so why not just use my Flex wet vacuum it out at the moment. Might as well, right? Look at that. Just like that. Alright. So I'm gonna continue. Alright, so the base of the air box is in. I'm you know, plug some stuff back. Plug this, and then this one goes to the other thing. So let me see, we got my bad, y'all. There's a lot of activity. This neighbors is pulling up. But anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna put this in here. Look like a fresh air filter too. Like, you know, previous owners did that pretty recently. Okay. And we got this right here is gonna go into that. So just give me a second, because this is a two-hand job. Alright, got the air box in there. So, and then all clamped down and everything, you know, make sure it's flush. So I'm gonna plug this right here. Alright. This is already connected. And I got a little, let me see this right here actually. This right here, I think this one goes. So this little piece right here, I think it goes over here. I'm not so sure, but I gotta double check, because I really don't see anywhere where else it would go. But yeah. Okay, so as we proceed. Yeah guys, I'm doing a test run. Seems like it's running pretty good. See where the needle is. It's not hot, it's not cold. It's right in the center where it needs to be. So seems like this was mission accomplished. Yeah. Car's a little dirty now. I can worry about the detail and getting it clean now, you know? What good is a clean car that's not running good? Alright guys, one more video on the Mazda. So I did the test drive last time. It was good, but actually after that, what it did do it slowly was overheating again. It turns out that I just had to bleed it. It was an air bubble stuck in the system. I just took it for a last test drive, and it turned out to be pretty good. So this is it pretty much for this one, engine wise. So I'm gonna clean it up and get it right. All right.